Tom here. I'm really excited to give you a rundown of our major upgrades to Filament. We've been busy reimagining how Filament works based on all of the feedback we've gathered from everyone who's been using it over the last few months. We're really excited about this new version. We think it's really powerful. All right, I'm going to run through the major updates so you know what's going on. Firstly, I'm going to start at dashboards. Dashboards are the home of your data, and here we've added a few features to make them even better. Firstly, we've simplified your dashboard listing so that you're able to quickly see all of your dashboards at a glance, sort them by your favorites, your dashboards, but it's a bit more compact. But you're now able to open dashboards in tabs. And so here I've got my web traffic campaign performance, my business metrics, my revenue dashboard, and my analytics performance. And every time I come into Filament, I've got the dashboards that I look at already open as tabs, ready to go. I can create new tabs really easily, or I can open recent dashboards or create a new dashboard at any time. I can now add pages to my dashboard, I can add cover images, and I can customize the layout much more deeply. But first, there's a change in modes with dashboards. We've split up the difference between looking at a dashboard and looking at the data in it versus building a dashboard and figuring out the data you want to see. When I open a dashboard, I'm looking in view-only mode. I can see all of my data, and I can explore charts by going on a deep dive that opens up the individual chart. I can see the raw data behind it, and I can ask Philly, our friendly AI data analyst, questions about that specific chart. As always, I can export data. I can view the methodology to understand how the chart got to this result. And critically, a new feature, I can now view the history of this chart. So I can look at changes that other people in my team might have made to this chart over time. I can click through different tabs. I can look at my demographics tab here. I can change my day filters, and I can always favorite or share this chart. When I share this chart, I can share it with all of the admins, all of the members in my organization, or individuals, and I control whether they get view or edit access. If I want to ask a question about my dashboard, like I want to understand why total users has declined in the past 30 days, then all I have to do is open up Philly. Now, this is the same Philly that we're all familiar with, but Philly is able to see the context of this dashboard, and I can ask simple questions within Philly. It's got access to the charts, the information I'm seeing, and I can do deep dives to understand why something is happening. But let's say I want to make changes to this dashboard. Well, now I have to go into edit mode. Inside edit mode, I am able to do a whole bunch of stuff. I'm able to change my cover image, set my emoji, change my text and content. I'm able to view version history for my dashboard, or I'm able to duplicate it if I want to create my own copy and just make a few changes. Once I'm in edit mode, I'm able to add new dashboard pages, or I can come in and change the layout of my dashboard. Layouts are dramatically more customizable now. I can simply drag charts to resize them. I can add text blocks into my dashboard, and I can move things around to be the layout that I'd like to be. If I'd like to add a chart to my dashboard, I can either add a chart from my library, which will allow me to choose a chart from an existing dashboard to either move or duplicate, or I can simply create a new chart. When I click new chart, it's going to add a little chart down the bottom, and Philly's going to ask me what I'd like to visualize. Philly's able to then do my analysis, access my dashboard instructions, and create my pie chart that I've requested. I can resize that to make it a little bit bigger, and now my change is done. But let's say I want to edit an existing chart. Well, that's really easy now too. I can focus Filament on that particular chart so it doesn't get distracted by the other things on my dashboard. Let's say I want to look at my top traffic sources here. I'm going to click Edit Chart, and Philly asks me how I'd like to update it. Philly's got the chart I'm looking at and is able to easily change the data I'm looking at and the formats to make it the chart that I'd like. If I'm building a dashboard from scratch and I don't want to go chart by chart, I can still use Filament like we always could, where I could say, make me a dashboard showing my web traffic performance. And Filament will go and create lots of charts on my dashboard and order them out in a logical way. Now, the great thing is, if you make a mistake, it's so easy to view history and restore that change. We can see here that I just changed my top traffic sources chart to a pie chart, and I created a visits by country pie chart. I can restore my dashboard to any point in time if I made a mistake. Next, I want to talk about threads. We've found that there's two ways that people use Filament. One is to create dashboards that you check daily, weekly, or monthly to understand how your organization is going. Or two, to ask why or dive into particular issues that it might be an ad hoc. These aren't things that you want a dashboard for all of the time. They're questions that you've got now in the moment, or things that you want to understand quickly that are best for a conversation, not for a dashboard. And so in my threads, I simply create conversations with my AI data analyst. So in this case, I could ask, how is our web traffic in January? What is driving it? And with any question, Filament will analyze your data, access your instructions and your memories, and provide you with insights that will answer your question. Threads are a great way to get organized around particular ad hoc queries that don't require big dashboards. Great. I've got my answer. It's created a chart in the chat, and I can see that Google Organic is driving my traffic in January. Now, if I'd like to save this chart for future reference, because I'm like, oh, that's really useful, I can save it. It's going to be available in my chart library. Or if I'd like to add a chart to a dashboard, I can do that as well and simply choose the dashboard and then choose the page on that dashboard I'd like to add that chart to. Finally, data is the new home for all of the apps that you integrate with Filament. You're still able to add apps at any time, but importantly, we've made sharing much easier. For instance, if I go into my Google Analytics app, I can now control who can access this data. For instance, admins can manage this, but everyone in my team can view it. If I want to integrate sensitive information into Filament, or I've got people in Filament who don't need access to all of the data I integrate, well, I can simply share apps on a user-by-user basis. I can say that admins can view everything, but only these specific people can view these specific apps. These are the changes that we've made. We hope you love them and really keen for your feedback. If there are features that you'd like to see in Filament, apps, or you need help analyzing any of your data, then we're only an email away. Excited to see what you do with it. Thanks for watching.